Finally, someone blessed the mic.
Now that it's over, I realize those 3 words you whispered were nothing but lies.
It's been a long time since I got these mics, and I've been itching to get somebody with vocal talent, not me, someone else with vocal talent to actually bless them and try them out. Taryn, thank you for doing that. Thank you for stepping out of your comfort. Actually, no, it's not your comfort zone. I know you love to get down in the karaoke rooms. I know Taryn from the wedding industry here in Hawaii. She's a coordinator. A lot of you know her as a coordinator. I know her as a coordinator, but as a fellow vendor at weddings. As you know, I was a videographer for many, many years. She was one of the coordinators who I would look forward to working with because she's a cool sister. As you can tell, we turn up the pigeon a little bit on this episode. 2 local people who met in the Hawaii wedding industry and are now, we're just cool friends, right? Because I stepped out. I do throw some shots throughout the episode. Shots fired. Here, get used to this because I'm going to just be firing off shots. Again. Okay, shots fired. Here we go. Another one. Shots fired. Here we go. Nah. One time. Like what? Shots fired. Here we go. Shots were fired. I mean, this is what happens on the regular. I try to be as true to who I am in front of the camera as I am when the cameras aren't on. And a lot of my conversations now with the people I met through the wedding industry are not necessarily like talking shit about wedding industry, but now that I've got both feet out of it, I have a different view of it. If you've left any industry, you know what I mean. You just want to vent and say things that you wouldn't necessarily say if you were still in the industry. I take advantage of this. I don't want to throw Taryn under the bus because she's still in that industry, but we end up talking about things like Hawaii high schools, difference between public high school, private high school. There's a lot of local Hawaii references in this one. This one's for you if you love Hawaii, if you're from Hawaii, if you're on the mainland right now, just reminiscing about Hawaii. This conversation was kind of like if you was in the garage on some lawn chairs with the cooler open, cruising. Like that's kind of how it felt in here. And I like to insert more of that because one of the aims of 100 Bad Videos is to show the connection of people and place. Taryn's one of those coordinators who, when you know you've got a wedding with her, you know you're in good hands. A couple of things that I really enjoyed about this episode was the insight behind the planning of a wedding. Soon-to-be brides, you're going to get a lot of value out of this episode. You're hearing directly from one of the most busiest wedding coordinators here in Hawaii, her personal look on things as well as the professional take on things which are more relevant to you. Wait, what are you?
Oh, I'm a mixed plate.
We all are. I'm right. Expecting 5 things minimum.
You're right. That's the thing.
2 hands.
It's probably right.
What?
I am. Yeah, where do you start? Well, we always start at Hawaiian, right? So yeah. Hawaiian, Portuguese, German, Chinese, of course, because you're part Hawaiian, you're always part Chinese. Irish. Did I say Irish?
No.
Indian, Choctaw, and Pilau Indian.
What you said?
There's a Pilau Indian.
Not.
Yes, there's Pilau Indian. Choctaw and Cherokee. And then, yeah.
Wait.
There's a lot.
So you wasn't kidding when did you do a 23andMe or like something like that?
I ordered one.
But you
and
didn't
it's in my house, but I didn't do
What's your
yet.
husband?
So he's everything I'm not. He's the Japanese, Okinawan, Filipino.
Okay.
Hawaiian, and a little bit of Chinese.
How come?
Yes.
How come you said if you're Hawaiian, you Chinese?
I don't know, cause like that it comes together.
No, when you said that, I was like,
you're like this much.
A lot of
You're this much Chinese, but like you're this much Hawaiian, but you're this much Chinese. I'm not too sure.
Same with Irish, because I found out I was Irish.
Yeah.
On the test, yeah.
Oh, you did?
I was like, come on now, is it?
I'm a lot Irish though. Like I don't know the percentage. I want to know all the percentages because my kids ask all the time, and between me and my husband, I'm like, oh, you're like a full pie of all kind.
Already
you're like Supreme plus.
Supreme.
Just tell everybody a little bit of everything.
Well, I expected that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I was going into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But here we are, Taryn.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, it's fun. fun.
Yeah. It's been a while, I feel.
Yeah.
And also it's nice to see you on a Saturday that we're not working on.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm on my way to Colina at
Not-
Lonnie too.
not-
That's why
perfect.
when I drove in, I was like, well, this was convenient.
Not even.
Yeah. I'll be, when I'm
So
done
you
here,
are
that's
working.
where I'll go. Yep.
You're welcome. I planned that.
I know.
I thought
I was like, that's cool. I'll probably just go to that store, grab a sandwich, and then go to work.
they get sushi now.
Oh, yeah?
The sushi bar finally opened.
Dang.
Not like I'm trying to plug ABC stores, but
No, but that one is really good, though. That's like
is.
one of my favorite ones.
It is.
Like, that market is legit.
those specials they get, no joke. I mean,
That's our go-to now because, like, they don't have Island Vintage anymore, right? I know. I don't even know. I
Starbucks.
don't even want to talk about that. But, yeah. Yeah.
why was that store so good? Because you're not the only coffee enthusiast who I've heard say that.
I don't know. The Cybos were bomb. The
Okay.
avocado toast was amazing.
Your order.
The lines weren't so great, but and then
Yeah.
that, you know, their Kona blended drink was bomb. Yeah.
What's your go-to then? Like you like the blended kind of.
I mean, we work outside all day. You know, like I need something cold.
It's
I
only
need
getting
something
hotter
with
for you.
espresso. I definitely got burnt yesterday. So good thing it's a little more tan today. But I was like super red yesterday.
Where you was?
Lulu Palms with a clear tent where you're magnifying glass.
Were you just in a greenhouse?
Yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, and I forgot to put on sunscreen right off the back. And I'm like, I know better.
Wait, so yeah, come on, like it's not your first rodeo. How many times you been in Lulu Palms? Lonnie, phase 2.
I know,
Like,
I don't know. I'm like, you know, trying to run away from a toddler is not easy either. Yeah, so.
That's how it feels out when you going work. It's like, I'm going work,
yeah, you
but
try to
I'm
run out
half
the
running
door
away from
without him running after you to say bye. So it's like.
Wait, how old is the little one then?
He's going to be 2 in September.
Because I remember when you was like taking that break from weddings.
Yeah. The shutdown, there was that last shutdown. So I called the doctor and I said, schedule my C-section now because I have nothing to do anyway. So.
We're not doing weddings.
So let me pick the date.
I always like, because there's a lot of friends that, first of all, we in that parent age, right? You look left and right, everybody kids. That's where we are.
Yep.
Beautiful
It's fun,
thing.
though. Yeah.
But I have a lot of those friends who had like, I could pick the birthday.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. As you got older, so look, my other two are, going to be 14 and 13. Cool. And those are natural births. And so you don't get to pick those. But they both have 17s in their birth dates, which is same as my husband. So they're all.
So you're the oddball.
So I'm September 23rd. And so with my son, I picked September 3rd because I'm like, well, I'm going to put one number in it. And I got shut down anyway.
Yeah. And I can pick it. Yeah.
I'm picking the 3rd.
Yo, is there the natural birth versus C-section?
I rather natural. C-section is a whole beast. You're trying to like learn how to get your core muscles back because they were like cut open, you know? Yeah. So you can't stand.
I'm a C-section baby.
All right. Yeah. You tell your mom
Easy for
sorry.
me though. I mean, no. Thanks, Mom.
You tell her thank you and you say sorry and thank you.
I wonder if she chose my birthday now. I think about it like.
I know. I don't know how it was then, but this one was like the shutdown, and I just called the doctor. I'm like, so what, Ken?
Is the natural birth preferred because so one of ours is, well, they're both vaginal.
Yeah.
But the first one, she got an epidural.
Oh, okay.
The second one, we wanted to.
Right, but
the second one just is like, here I am.
Yeah, the second one always like shoots out and flies. So yeah. So the first one, yes, was the hardest one. But I was natural, but I had to suck her out. Like her head was too big. And then the second one, kind of just like flew out. So it was easy.
Yeah.
And
Oh, you did everything then you.
Yeah, and then I got the C-section on the last one, which was the boy. So he gave me the hardest pregnancy, actually.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but yeah,
So you over there like not PT, but like postpartum, like after the birth, you got to do certain like exercises.
Well, they don't. You just say like rest, let it heal. Don't be hard head. Like don't try to do everything yourself, which was like hard because we also opened back up in October, like for weddings, and like we've had these weddings for so long that I felt like I needed to still be there, so I went, which kind of prolonged my healing
Recovery.
Process because I was hard head. Yeah,
you're standing up
at
outside, walking around
with my band.
Oh, you.
But I was there.
Hey, you showed up.
I showed up.
That's what's up. I mean, I do like, curious about like your work. Obviously, that's how we know each other.
Yeah.
But then there's like personal stuff. There's all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, wherever we go, we go. Mm-hmm. But, it's kind of a Hawaii thing. I'd just, what you start out with like, what are you? And then get the supreme pizza answer, toppings answer.
All of that. So,
but what else though? What? Born and raised Wahiawa? Like
no, I'm actually a Kalihi girl.
Governor.
Yeah, like Cam 4 Kalihi girl, but like in the houses. But
different.
I mean, I'm not dogging anything else, but that. I just before then. But yeah, my family grew up in Kalihi, and then me and my husband are high school sweethearts.
So you both from Kalihi then?
He's actually from Waipahu.
Oh.
Waipahu.
So you guys kind of live in a triangle, like right in the Kalihi, Waipahu, Wahiawa. Okay.
We're both lifers from Kamehameha. And
that's right. KS. My bad.
Woo, dog it.
Upper campus.
Don't you dare say Cam.
We had many.
We've had many of these discussions, actually.
I'm from Cam Bowl. She's from Kamehameha.
Oh, thank you so much.
And if you call it Cam, you know what? The first time ever I heard someone from Kamehameha High School, maybe even same grade, like I think she's 04, 05-ish maybe.
Younger than me then. Yeah.
But she said Cam. And I said, I felt weird like correcting her.
She started at 9th grade then.
Yeah. Not a true one, huh? She's new to this. But let's just settle that. Don't call it Cam.
Yeah. We have issues with that.
Okay, what do you call the highway then?
Kamehameha.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Nobody really asks you that,
Nobody
honestly.
says the whole 6 syllables. Or what is that? You know what I mean? Like, if you're on the phone, you just say what? See? What about the shopping center?
Cam shop.
Okay.
Okay,
you know
duly noted. But it was called Cam Bowl. Like the Kamehameha bowling alley was called Cam Bowl.
Good point. It's their fault.
It is.
Anytime somebody give you shit for saying Cam, like, hey, I went Cam Bowl. Oh, I thought you was talking about my school when you said that.
It's the bowling alley. That's how old we are, actually, if you actually think about that now.
Aiea Bowl was my preferred.
I mean, they
bowling
got some
alley.
bomb food, so yeah, we're there. Some good chocolate insanity. It's my husband's favorite, but yeah.
Not the one with like, was it lemon crunch?
Oh, lemon crunch. That one is good too, but that chocolate insanity is like on another level.
It's different now.
What?
When's the last time you went? Aiea Bowl.
Not that long ago. I mean, they redid we didn't go when they redid all the cosmic stuff and all the lanes and whatever, but food wise, that's still pretty much.
That's a staple, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just because we brought up food real quick, as someone who probably eats at every
everywhere because that's my job.
No, literally. I was gonna say the vending, because I
cannot give bad advice.
It's been I want to say like 6-7 months. I think my last wedding I did with Glenn.
Oh wow,
was like long. Was a while ago, yeah. So
I didn't see you on the last one.
But I was kind of like on my way out. There's like a gray zone for like the end of last year. Because I kind of knew I was like, I wanted to go more in on this and then the other projects I'm working on and the kid thing too. Because right now, 6 and 5, and like our
the
weekends are
time,
gone.
Yeah, it's the time. It's trying to find that balance, which I feel like I can never find. That's a struggle still, but it's like communication is key between the two, right? Like two parents with the children, letting them see who you are and what you do, but also like remember to spend time with them. It's crazy.
Especially when they start, for me, it's when they started going to school. And I realized once they went to school, then just the time value perception was like,
right. They're gone for
Saturdays and Sundays are more valuable because that's more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if I'm 8-hour package or whatever,
it's long.
and
I'm 15-hour days. We're the first ones on site and the last ones to go home. So like, I don't have time with them. So it's I did gear more towards like weekday weddings and destination weddings because I'm like, oh, weekdays perfect. Like they're in school anyway. I do come home a little later, but I got my weekends back, which is, crazy. But I love it.
I'm loving it. Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of funny that you're
that I'm here on a Saturday though, but so well to be clear, I'm actually helping somebody else's wedding.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah. So it's not technically my own.
But I mean, as someone who's been in the game, we've both been in the game years and years in Hawaii. And I mean, I kind of want to, now that like 2 feet are out the door and I'm just, in my own different like gears in my head and in my schedule, I can kind of look back and be like, man, that was, when you don't have something, you appreciate it more.
Oh, yeah.
But also you just see it different.
Yep.
And so now I look at not just weddings, but events. I look at venue spaces because tell me not, we've been to every venue ever.
I'm definitely very picky. So if anybody sees this on here, I definitely like certain venues. I probably say no to some. And it's probably because of the venue. I ain't gonna lie.
And you've been there way more times than most people. That's the other part I was getting to with the food. I was like, okay, we've been to just about every venue on Oahu and the main ones, outer islands.
Yep.
But we also had all the vendors, like food.
Everything. Like I have to be able to, and even if they're new, we'll go try them so we can vouch that, that it's good. Like it also puts our name on a lot of things too, right? When you hire us, it's just like they look to you for your expertise, so we'll make sure that we cover all their bases.
You gotta know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
If someone's like, well, who got the best prime rib? You'd be like, well, I got this person, this person, this person. Last time I saw this person, this happened. Okay, one time, and we won't name names.
Right.
Okay, we'll keep things white label, right? But one time, one place. I don't know if you, I think maybe Steph or, it was uncooked. Like, you know how seared ahi looked, but with prime rib.
Yeah.
Not the good kind, red meat with like, I think you guys
I know, but we
forgot
can't say
the
names,
order. And all the guests I was looking, it was maybe like 50 people. They were like, looking left and right, talking to each other. I'm like, yeah, you guys having the same conversation
we are having back here. I know exactly which event you're talking about. So,
but hey, I just say that as like, it's easy to get a little bit jaded, or like, I was talking to Krista, which, again, someone who I know from the wedding industry, but now we're doing something else.
Yeah.
So shout out to Krista, and she said to say hi.
Hi. I'm sorry, I'm working on my photos.
Yeah, she did mention that you. She's waiting. She's waiting on you for your website.
I also have so much going on, but
you're wearing a lot of hats, and I think of anybody like in that kind of wedding industry, whether it's Hawaii or not, like the coordinator is a lot of times. So I'll put it this way: when people ask me like, "Oh, I know you work at weddings," and then they have a wedding question, even if it's way outside of my league.
Right.
You do weddings? Let me ask you a wedding question, right? And then I always say, hey, first thing you got to do is if you're going to spend money, spend it on a coordinator because, and I tell them my firsthand anecdotal evidence from going to so many, I said, You don't want,
Yeah.
believe me, I spent 8 hours with brides and grooms on their wedding day. You don't want to be on your phone the fucking whole time you're getting ready, that you don't even get ready. Then that just domino affects everything else. Because you doing so much, even if it's just going downstairs to pick up something that Uncle brought.
Right.
Because
it's don't do it. Just don't do it.
Time, but also a headspace. Like, you're not thinking about your wedding on your wedding day.
You're not enjoying it at all. Like, you're not. You think, well, prior to getting a coordinator, that is always something that people think, like, do I really need one? And, it's, and the question that we ask back is like, well, do you want to enjoy it? So you tell me.
But then that's the other part where we experience something so much that it's almost like you can autopilot through it. But most, like 99%, only experience it that day.
Right.
Or once.
And that's hard to explain.
Exactly.
And so that's why a lot of us like need this BTS or to show, or like hire like Crystal to show some videos of us in the backdrop of like exactly what we do, because people don't understand. So until you're take it back a little bit. Like you mentioned Steph, and I've known Steph since 10 years now. I was her wedding coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
And then we stayed friends.
Oh, you didn't recruit the bride.
I did.
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Okay.
And what's funny is a lot of the team that I've had over the years were my brides. So,
really?
I keep that relationship with them, and they're, a lot of them are just like, oh, I want to see that back end. And then they see the back end and they're like, holy crap. But like, didn't even know. We don't know like how this goes, and this is awesome. And over the years, it really has been most of our brides on our teams. They stay with us for a few years, then some need to, move on. Some want to have families, it's all good.
Life.
Yeah. And I'm like, all good. But for them to see that back end is like, holy.
So obviously, as a business owner, but like a wedding industry professional practicing, like, you're going to have objections, right? And you have to have this educational conversation.
We
so
really do.
When you're doing that, like, what are like maybe top 5 misconceptions or top 5 points that you're like, okay, I have to jump into education mode because this person just doesn't know. So let me let them know. Like, what are those most like top 5 misconceptions or something, or in your conversations?
Well, a lot of the time the brides will say like, oh, I'm a DIY bride. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But let me put it here. Who's gonna set it up that day? Who's gonna drop it off? Who's gonna put it together? Who's gonna clean it up? Who's gonna, like, all of these questions come down, and then it's like their motors start going like, oh yeah, I'm like, you're not gonna be able to do that. You're getting your hair and makeup done. Like, oh, I'm gonna send dad, so dad knows exactly how you want your flowers done. No, I'm like, okay. So it's not like I'm boom canunning you. I'm actually just I'm actually just laying out facts, and whether you want to listen, it's up to you. I'm here to tell you 17 years of my experience, and if you want to hire us, then great. If not, I'm all G, girl. Like, it's all good.
And you still feel good, like, giving that nugget of like, just giving them this.
Honestly, like, in our conversations of having a new bride chat with us, which our consultations are free anyway, no more than 30 minutes. You get to talk to us. Ask me what you want to ask me. I will totally tell you. I have nothing to hide. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing I tell them. I'm like, so first of all, I have nothing to hide because you're the one paying for it. I don't pay for any of this. I'm telling you knowledge, so you can take notes as you want in this conversation. Yeah. And they're like, oh, so a lot of things we're going through, a lot of the vendors, and a lot of things like, oh, well, yeah, I'm gonna have my friend do this. I'm like, okay, then that's when my questions come out, and I'm already like, my team will yell at me for giving this much information out all the time when I'm on these calls, but I feel like they still need to know. Like, whether you hire me or not, I actually tell them that. Whether you hire me or not, you really shouldn't do this. You still need to know. You're either going to love me or hate me on this conversation. Yeah. You're either going to listen to me or you're not going to listen to me. But then when you're in it And then I know for a fact that the brides that I have talked to, that I've told things, that they're like, oh shit, she said that.
You had told you so moments.
But I'm not, that's what I'm saying. I'm not here to boom on you. I'm here to make things make sense so that you can enjoy the one day in your life that is super important to you, that you're spending thousands of dollars on. So
what's the average cost of a wedding?
Right now, a lot of people will ask this because they're prepping, you know, and right now after COVID, I would say your average is 60 to 65.
Time out. Last time I checked, it was 33.
No, not at all.
I know I'm not that old.
Unless you want 20 people at your wedding. But yeah.
65,000.
Right now it's 60 to 65 average for possibly maybe like 100 people.
Is this at a hotel, one spot venue? Like,
it really depends. It's kind of close to both.
I could go to Lani Konua, stay at Hilton.
Well, what does it mean? That means, I don't even include the stay. That's just your venue and the vendors that I need to get for you.
Oh.
Yeah. So a lot of people will just be like, oh, they're really scared. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, you're telling me what you want and you're sending me these pictures that you want, but this is where you're at right now. So if you want it, then okay, like, you know, it's step-by-step process. We'll help you with vendors and you know, fit it within your budget. But at the same time, I'm always going to ask you, your photo video definitely comes very early on, because that's the only thing you're going to take home. I know you want to take home me, but you can't. I'm done that day.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, photo and videos, though, you know, it's by style. Then it's by cost. It's by style first.
Yeah. I like this person.
That's going to be on all your walls, you know, or anywhere. And this is what you're going to show your kids later. Like, so, you know, choose those things first, and then everything else kind of comes in after that. But it's like step-by-step process with them. And as they're doing it, they're realizing, like, holy shit, yeah, we're past 30. Oh, shit, we're past 40. Like, yeah. But then, you know, you start early and pay people off. Like, that's what we tell them. Like, you don't wait till the very end. Like, your photo video is not going to move. Pay them off. Your DJ's not going to change anything. Pay it off. Right. The only thing that stays open is certain things off of your guest count. Leave those open. Other than that, pay it off. Then you can have other things that you want to have.
I see. It's not like when you go to the store and make a purchase, like, all right, this is how much everything you want is, pay now. It's, you have the time, right? Going, like you have, depending on how much time you have.
Checking in on your budget, checking in, like constantly checking in on your budget, paying things off. Okay, this is what's left. Okay, great. And then, you know, then you have like, some of those like, oh, well, somebody gifted me something. Oh, great. Awesome. Let's add it in. Like,
someone sponsored my video.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you know, hey, you said Kalihi and Wyatt Pahu, so I know you know about sponsors.
I never had any.
Oh, okay. Sometimes I'm like,
I didn't have a set of 20. I did not.
You know those weddings where it's like, sponsor 1, 2, 3, 4,
and I always
5.
have to ask them, like, did they actually sponsor something, or just their name's just on it?
Oh, godmother, okay.
Got it. I always tell this to back. I love Filipino weddings, okay? I married one. I get it. But I am not personally Filipino. I get asked all that all the time. Like, oh, did you speak? No. I just married one.
No, I pilau. That tripped me out. You married, so Filipino.
Oh my gosh.
What do you like about it? Besides
Filipino weddings?
Yeah. Like,
they're fun.
The big, like, I think the size usually is.
I mean, the size is always like.
It feels like, okay, this is a event. Because there's so many heads.
There's a lot of heads. There's a lot of like as the bridal party is kind of mostly always big. I have never had a small bridal party for a Filipino wedding, like never. And you never only have one flower girl and one ring bearer. There's normally like 3 or 4 each.
The bridal party picture looks like a class photo or like
it is
1 row,
but
2 rows.
I love it. They're so exciting. I'm not sure. It's just the culture is. They are very like tight knit, but they love to have a good time.
Okay, shots fired here. Get used to this because I'm gonna just be firing off shots. Again, unnamed location, unnamed wedding. Because you said Filipino wedding. I was like, there's a lot of parts I like. Mm-hmm. One part is and a lot of like younger ones, especially if you Bay Area.
I love Bay Area. People think I'm from Bay Area. They think I'm from there.
You fit in. I could see that.
They always ask me, "Are you from Bay Area?" I'm like, "No, I'm a Hawaii girl, but I love Bay Area."
I love the energy.
Shout out 49ers, but yeah.
Okay. rep your team. They bring it when it comes to like dancing and performance and like
they just
having
have
a dance.
Good time.
I was like, yo, this is almost like a show. As a videographer, it makes your job kind of easier in a sense like there's no question of what to shoot or what to capture. It's practice this.
It's all day, all night.
But this one time, this one auntie, who I say auntie, but it was the mother of the bride, right? This one auntie like took about, I don't know, each song was probably 7 minutes. You know, like those long karaoke. Yeah. She said, I'm going to do, and she introed each song too. You know what I mean? Like,
I was going to say, you're talking about ballroom dancing, but you said karaoke.
No, it was in a ballroom. This was, okay, I can say it was Hilton Coral Ballroom. So we're talking big ballroom now. And right there, big ballroom and just you with the light. Bro, I thought it was just one song.
That was definitely not my wedding.
it got to the point I was like, I felt bad. No,
I'm telling you, that's definitely not my wedding because I probably would have been like, somebody take her off.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. When you make that cane thing, you see in the old commercials, like, hey.
But bottom line, the only people that can do it is the bride and groom. So you'll never see me pull somebody off, but I will definitely tap and be like, you want this? No? Get rid of it.
You check what they're You look at the MCA.
I'm just saying, you only got 2 more hours of photo video.
That's what I was doing the math in my head too. Like, okay, at this pace, right? It wasn't even during dinner. That's you know, you can get away with that if it's
dinner. I actually always do that. Like there's always like, I have a friend who's gonna sing. Okay, great, awesome. Okay, I have an auntie who's gonna do this. Okay, great. Somebody's gonna do a dance. Okay, great. All during dinner.
Yep.
Not during the program time. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah.
Trust me. Yeah.
I mean, unless you want to pay the photo video another hour so you can grasp what you wanted in your program. So yeah, we're all things educational as to like. I'm gonna make myself actually like a Bretman Rock name. I'm like really working on it, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because like if you think about it,
yeah,
we're like your lawyer, your friend, your counselor, your Chinese ambassador. You know, trying to get the best for your buck. Mm-hmm. But like, if you put all our hats on, I'm like, I need a Bretman Rock name.
Bro,
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Wow. Is that like?
But I'm just saying, like, that's what I'm saying. It's very educational. So that's why I'm like, the things that we educate you on is like, it's a hella long list.
I don't know if it's expectation, because nowadays, or you could get the bride who, we've all experienced this, where it's like for us, not you, like usually we meet at their getting ready place, whether it's a hotel room, somebody's house, Airbnb, whatever, right? And it's usually when they're bride side getting the makeup done, everybody's getting ready. And you get a good feel of who's in the party, who's going to be there, who's the bride and groom, what's the family,
right away. When you walk in, you either feel like, oh, this is great energy. Somewhere just like a little down yet, but I'm like, did you bring a speaker? Let's put on some music. You know, like
are we just gonna leave this game on the whole? You know what I mean?
Right. Like different rooms is different vibes. Like what are we gonna feel today?
There's an empty Kavase bottle. All right, you know what I mean? Like, I love that like first hour of feeling it out,
right?
And then being okay, like who's the jokester? Who's the one that's gonna be carried off the dance floor?
There's always those ones that are just, they drive me nuts, but they're so fun.
What, the Bayesians?
Yeah. I would actually love to stay in their rooms, but I am always that person at the setup because I've worked with them for so long that I know exactly where everything needs to go, or I've designed it, so I do need to be there. So Steph is always in the room. You guys always see Steph, and she just has this, you know, natural aura of her. Just her energy is just so like Yeah, you can have somebody that's like having a bad day and she'll come in and be like, hi, so I need her in the room.
There's like superpowers. And okay,
really
how
does.
come is it just based on the landscape from my observation? I've seen so let's just put it in context. I've been doing weddings, you could say 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
The first 3/4 were in Japan.
Oh, nice.
Before coming here, coming back home. And during that time, I have seen a total of 2 male coordinators.
Wow. That's it?
Why?
Oh, no.
Is it? I feel like I couldn't handle that much multitasking. For me, like, give me one thing to do, get the shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you guys wearing way too many hats at one time, and I can't. I say this. Okay, shots fired. Here we go. Another one. There's sometimes when a non-coordinator has to be a coordinator. A videographer, photographer, someone else has to, even the officiant sometimes.
Yeah.
Where they have to play these roles that usually
we try not to do that. When you have somebody that is actually experienced, you guys don't ever have to do that. I mean, right? Like y'all know where you need to be. Y'all know what time, and y'all know what time you need to be done, because then I'm gonna come at you.
See that energy right there? You gotta. If you don't have that, that's when things get off the rails.
But fun though. So I'm not one of those where I'm just like super stickler, where I'm like, it is over. You did this.
I mean, you drinking while you're working too. Nah.
This is Zoa. Shout out to The Rock. But everybody does think that I am
drinking
looks like a beverage, but it's not.
You day drinking right now.
Every time I show up there, I'm like this, and they're like, oh. And I'm like, oh, no.
You have to show everybody every time.
I have to show that it's like not a truly.
But
anyway,
I do. Well, how do you feel about drinking at weddings as a vendor?
I do it.
Guilty.
Okay, first of all, I do my job first. First and foremost, I make sure everything is all cool. You will see me have like one cocktail at probably like 8:00. Like everything's done. And then there's always the ones where it's like, Taryn, take a shot with me.
Yeah. If you get
invited. Let you guys know, my shot is always watered down. Bartenders know I don't want to take a full shot, because I still got to make sure you get out of my venue, not mine, but out of the venue on time, so that they don't overcharge you. Everything I'm doing for you.
That's funny, because from a guest, whether it's a bridesmaid or the bride, whoever, oh, Taryn, let's take a shot. They built this relationship with you, and they get to the venue, they're having fun, blah blah, and go to the bar, but they don't realize, like, you probably know this bartender, like you probably seen them yesterday.
I hired them for you.
Yeah. Oh, what? Paliku Ranch again? Paliku Gardens. I mean, Stir. Like, I got you.
Spirits of Aloha, shout out, Shires Bar, all of those guys. Like, they know if I come and the bride's coming and the groom's coming with me, or even the bridal party, they get so attached to us and our energy and just having a good time, because we've shown that we take care of you, we're family.
What percent would you say is destination and local for you?
For us, it actually has been 80% destination and 20% local. No. And which is, like I said, like, I don't know, I'm just drawn. Bay Area's drawn to me, and I'm drawn to them. And
Bay Area.
Yeah.
Well, you don't run ads in the Bay or something?
I don't.
How come? Wow, I guess.
I'm not sure.
Word of mouth? I don't know.
A lot of them can be word of mouth. A lot of them is just like the style, I think, that we post, that they drawn to the energy, which is, that's just how we do.
Okay, what's the allure then of having a destination in Hawaii?
Well, I mean, it's Hawaii, first of all. It's gorgeous. You don't have to do a lot to it. We do have to let you know how much it is, and then whether you're down with it or not, first of all. But I mean, I think they're drawn also to the Aloha energy. And I think that first and foremost, that the Aloha energy and just like having a good time. And when we talk with them, and that's what we, chat about, is that's what's important. like they're drawn to it.
So they want that. You say aloha energy, but how do you explain that to somebody who never even seen the ocean? Like, I'm from Boise, Idaho. You know what I mean? I'm 22, marrying my high school sweetheart.
I mean, great question.
You know what I mean?
I guess when I do chat with them, then I just ask them, like, then why did you pick Hawaii?
What did you see?
Well, yeah, you saw something. Something drew you here, even if you didn't visit here yet. We have a lot of those that actually say, like, oh, I've never been, but I just know I wanted to have it here. Like, oh, okay, awesome.
And how's their experience?
They loved it. They wouldn't regret it. They don't regret it at all. They always say, I'll be back.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, I'll be here.
But if you're back for a different wedding, that's gonna be awkward.
No.
But you ever had a two-timer?
Two-time wedding? Not
Like
yet.
same bride or?
Not yet.
That's the thing. Like, we don't
Not yet.
usually get those kind.
Yeah. No.
Just the odds it might happen.
It could.
But
it could.
Usually,
Definitely could.
Usually, I mean, that's the great thing that I do miss is that coming together for a day. It almost felt like sports. Like, I grew up playing soccer and baseball, so like team sports. When I look back at it now, and as a parent, I think, like, what would I like to encourage in my own children? And I would like to kind of have an individual and a team. So it could be individual, could be music, like an instrument or something. That could easily be translated to being in a band. But like, do something just you, and then do something like together.
Yeah, your identity, your identity, but also like you play well with others.
Also,
have
like,
a good time.
Being used to things out of your control. I think that's a big part, because other people, it doesn't matter how good I am, I show up. And that kind of feels like the wedding part. It's like, it feels like a game. It's like game day. And you coming and you show up. Oh, okay, you on the field. You know what I mean? Like, I see you on the field. I see Steph over there. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like game day. Who's showing up?
Yeah.
And me.
And you see everybody.
Maybe you don't see Glenn.
You're like, oh, okay. Like, yeah. That's definitely.
That's how I feel. Like, showing up to the wedding day with the vendors. Oh, who's?
Yeah.
And then you got the like clients basically, but they're the majority as far as like people wise, right? Everyone's here for them, so they're the majority, and then the minority of vendors.
Yeah.
It's like game day for us, and then we always, but we're all serving the same people though.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that feels like positions. Like, I'm this position, you're that position.
Oh yeah, for sure. Everybody got their job.
I love that part.
Yeah, everybody has their part for sure, and that's why it's always like they always say it always takes a village, and it always takes that, and you always say, like, frienders. They made that language like a few years ago that it's like friends that are vendors, but yeah, they come together everybody does their part, but everybody knows their spot, everybody knows, but that's my job to make sure, like, hey, well, everybody's showing up on time, okay, great, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, everybody's on the same page, but
you pretty much a captain.
I am the captain.
The coordinator is the captain.
I'm the head honcho.
Yeah, because everything goes through the coordinator, right?
That's why a lot of, it's kind of like, if like a message went from the vendor to the bride, but then like the bride comes to me like, oh, that happened. I'm like, yeah, I found out. I know.
Yeah. In fact, I initiated that.
I did that.
Yeah. This full circle moment.
But that's how they realize, like, oh yeah, these guys are like super close. And like, yeah.
You know what?
Gotta know everything.
You know how there's I think they call them like step counters or foot track. What do you call it? Like, where you count how many steps you did a day?
Oh yeah.
There should be one, but for decisions. Like, how many decisions a day you make?
Too many.
You know what I mean? That would be.
But a lot.
And then, or even even better for the bride. With coordinator bride versus without coordinator bride.
Yeah, I don't run. I don't run a lot of things past our couples, actually.
For real. You have.
We have already initially established that I will make these decisions for you. If it is something that has to include maybe money-wise that needs to be put out that they weren't aware of, that's when I'll come to it. But if there's anything else, whether it's time-wise, vendor-wise, a decision of what sort, that is, I already had made that decision or talked with them that I will make those decisions for you. So
it's agreed upon how much autonomy you have in decision makings on their day, or probably even before their day.
Yep.
Maybe even after. How much aftercare is there?
Not too much aftercare, because like we make that a standard that the night of the wedding, that's when our job is done.
That's why you drinking.
Yeah.
When you see me drinking, Paul.
Cheersing. No.
Once I see you drinking, I'm like, me too then. Nah.
But, I mean, it's just, it really, now the aftercare is not too much. It's just like, you know, making sure they dropped off, like right now they preserve their flowers, making sure like all of that went smoothly type of thing. But other than that, then it is the vendor's part to finish off whatever is in their contract, you know. So like photographers, did you get it within your 3-month contract that you have their shots, or did you you know get the video, did you get it, those types of, that's on them. If they haven't produced, then you know, then I'll just check on it, but most of the time I don't really need to do that.
That's cool. I mean, there's a longer touch period for, well, I don't know, because everyone's got different ways of doing business. So I don't know, but like, I like frienders. We gotta make that. You should make that a shirt or something. Like that's we you know, it's like we all have. So shout out to Alexi and his family.
Oh, I know.
Real good guy. I still have
cool
his.
guy.
I have his hat. I wore it to the celebration of life, and that was my first time in a while seeing a bunch of frienders, right? And it was you know, touching base, catching up, seeing everybody, albeit under those circumstances of losing a friend. But we, you know, I think it's exactly how Alex would have wanted it. Right? Of people like smiling, having fun.
Having a good time. I mean, that's what his environment anyway. Like coming in, having fun, shooting fun. Like,
I never seen him mad.
No.
I mean, he probably gets mad.
I don't even think
but
like
I never seen him.
Y'all gotta think about it. Your vendors that are around you, when do you see them mad?
You challenging me? I could. Shots fired. Here we go. Nah. One time. But it was, you know, there's always. I mean, I want to say a fight, but it was.
There's, you know,
disagreements. Let's put it that way.
That's between photo and video, though.
Oh yeah.
I already know where that's going.
I mean, we all frienders. We don't.
People shoot in different ways, so it's just learning to work together.
People operate differently. And there's different, like same job but different personality.
And
behind it. And then, you know, a lot of what we do is actually it is all down to relationships. And I think it just happens that the playing field of a wedding in this beautiful backdrop of Hawaii, it just offers this beautiful playing field. But still, there's jobs and there's personalities behind those jobs, and the unfolding of that's beautiful. When it's done well, it's even we enjoy it.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
when it's done well,
you know, you had like a really good event when all of us still go out after.
That's what I mean. If everybody is like, contract's done.
We're done.
Yeah.
And then so what? Where are we going?
Yeah. or even like you still get 2 more hours. Oh, well, where are we going after? You know.
I'm always the last one, so I'm like, just let me know when you guys end up.
What favorite Pauhana spots? The karaoke spots.
I know. Don't throw me out there. I love my karaoke. That is like my release. Like that's what I do. Like, give me one drink and a few songs, and I can go home. I'm good. Singing
is your release.
Yeah.
After work or just?
Yeah. I think in general, like, yeah, I always tell my husband that I'm like, you gotta let this butterfly fly, right? Like you gotta let her out, like that, let her do her thing, and I'm good. But that's my release for sure.
What is it about singing? Like, did you practice it? You go to church as a child? Like how?
So yeah, I did. I went to New Hope. Grew up going there my whole life. And then I did join like New Hope Leeward, and I sang in the worship. And then, I just, got busy, crazy, trying to build my business. And yeah, I don't know. I just really always enjoyed singing, but never will ever pursue anything more than just sing for fun.
Look, I love fishing. I ain't trying to be in a competition.
Right.
Like I just
I'm no good, but I have a good time with it. Yeah, great. So yeah.
is it something that you feel like it's hard to say with anything that someone practices, be it a hobby, profession, anything, but like right now, where would you say you are as far as like your journey of singing? Like, do you still feel like I have parts of my voice or certain songs or certain things I want to, what is the goal, if there is, like for you right now in singing?
I don't really have like a goal. I think I'm still pretty mutual as to, I mean, I love I just love certain songs. I mean, my kids are like teenagers now, right? So like the songs that they are listening to, I actually don't like.
Like what? Shots fired. Here we go.
No. I don't know.
Cupid.
Just some of them.
Cupid.
No, just like, you know what I mean? Like they don't know. I actually play all this stuff like we grew up with, like.
Wait.
We're the same age.
Oak Tree.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Yeah. Okay. I'm like, how far back we got? Are we talking cassette tapes or no?
I mean,
I had those. I had those.
I had that radio that record whatever was playing on 93 or whatever, right?
Hot 888
right. Press the 2-finger record.
Yeah. Hopefully it didn't record over something else.
Such a good song.
So okay, we in the same music.
Yes.
We grew up.
Yes.
So like what though? Like D'Angelo, or more like, or Capenna, or
I mean all of that. I think I'm well rounded into. Well, because I grew up with older siblings, so I have step siblings, I have real siblings, I have half siblings. Like both of my sides are remarried, and so I grew up with like an older brother that's like, I think he's like almost 18 years older than me.
Okay.
Like, or maybe more. So, we had like their genre.
Influence.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, so all the way down to what we were listening to. So, from the oldest, I'm second to the youngest out of everybody. But, like me and my sister were 6 years apart. So even just that already, like she had the influence of like Def Leppard on me, like, and then all my queens, like Celine Dion, Gloria Estefan, Whitney Houston, like all of those ladies, right?
Yeah.
And then, we had the Missy Elliott's and we had the Ashantis.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, and then my dad loved rock. So there's all of those things for me too. So I'm very well-rounded. And then I married my husband who he loved Red Hot Chili Peppers and, those kinds of, so, he is his own Spotify, but in a good way. That guy, he knows music. Yeah. But he won't sing, but he knows, like, when we go karaoke, he puts in my list. Like, I don't even know my list.
Oh, so he's like, hey, you should sing this one, or I put this one out. You take this one. Oh, that's cool. Such a couple goals.
Right.
I mean, if your partner can't tee you up at karaoke, what are you doing, huh?
What are you doing?
I'm not, again, we was talking about doing this kind of stuff too. I was like, I know my limits. And that's why you won't see me with the mic. And that's why whenever I talk to someone like you who expresses kind of interest and like you just love it, and
I love it.
And
I don't do it, but
I'm interested because I feel like that I feel similar but with other things.
Yeah.
So be it whatever video, like paint, it's like I love when I hear people talk about their kind of thing that they flow with. Yeah.
Like that makes me happy. Like I do it. I love weddings. I love corporate events. We're doing more corporate events now, but it's a whole nother story. But like, just my off time. Like when we're done with that, then I want to have like a drink and then go sing and then I can go home. Like I feel complete.
Does it feel like a workout?
To sing after?
I honestly like again.
I think it's like I said, like it's I don't know. It's like a release though. Like it's fun.
I say that because sometimes like after you go for a walk, like you get a little bit of exercise, your heartbeat raises, And with just we all been on
yeah.
YouTube like rabbit holes, right? One that I went on was like a voice actor trainer or something,
Right.
and the way she was describing it was like, move this part of your throat, move this part of your mouth, move this part of your belly. I was like, oh, it sounds like you kind of doing.
I mean, I
like
definitely sing better standing up, but
okay.
because you breathe more. But it depends on what you're singing, whether it's Celine Dion or where you're singing Fergie. What you doing? You rapping?
What?
Or you belting?
Belting, you gotta stand up. Or
Belting, I gotta stand up. If I'm doing like a Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, I need to breathe. But if I'm just doing like, I don't know, Meghan Trainor, Fergie, I can sit down and sing.
Oh, you got bars too then? Like you rap too in the.
No, I'm not really good at that yet. Like
yeah, there you go. See you
my
in
daughter's
1 year.
actually really good at that, actually. So I'm like, oh, I just have you
Wait,
do that part.
how old is she?
She's gonna be 13.
So who is she? Whose songs is she like covering?
Oh yeah, she loves to sing that one too. She's definitely my mini. I know she has a very broad spectrum.
Oh, like mom then.
Well, I don't let them choose in the car.
Oh, yeah. You that one.
I'm that
You that
one.
mom.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't touch that.
No.
It's my phone.
No. Yeah. Mom, no.
You take requests though, like.
I mean, yeah, but it's just funny because then you start listening to your time, and then they start listening, and then you hear them in their room singing that, and I'm like, yes. Yeah. You're welcome.
Well, for me, it's like I know that song Cupid, which I don't even know, like, cause I'll take requests in the car.
You do?
I'm like, we'll take turns. I'm like, all right, Daddy's turn. I'll play something. Okay, your turn, and then we just take turns. It's not the safest when you're driving, so I just sometimes I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I just give the phone already at this point.
Right.
I'm like, but we take turns.
Right.
I pick one, and so that's been kind of cool in the recent month or so.
Yeah. Just to see what they choose.
And I'm learning like this Cupid song. I'm like, why do you like? It's catchy. It's an earworm type of thing, but also I think about it like, what about it do they feel so attached to that maybe like. I remember when I first heard, for example, like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh,
and you're like,
that's
how?
a good one though.
How? Yeah, like harmony with rap, and then
it's the beat. It's got to be the beat.
It's
got to be.
Also, who was doing like? It was a team. It wasn't just one guy. It was like, so you had all these different styles to like somebody. You're gonna connect to one of these kind of styles. Mm-hmm. So it was a perfect like grab bag of something new, fresh, and like I remember feeling. I'm gonna learn every fucking word, and we did, and so now if they do that with like Cupid, I'm like I'm not gonna hate on it,
right?
But
at the same time, there's certain songs though, like they be singing, and you're like, but do you know what that means?
Yeah. Oh, see, that's
the thing. Like I was
same
like,
thing with music videos.
Great, right? Well, which that's not like a big thing right now. That was a big thing with our time. Like those music videos were bomb. Right, like I can still like see the Janet Jackson like, you know, like. Yeah. But then like now they don't really watch too many of it. They just listen, but then they're like memorizing the words. But then you're just like, did you know what you just said? Like,
here's the thing, like
I got teens, so I had to like actually say it slowly and tell them, and each one that I said, they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah,
you probably shouldn't.
Yeah,
clean version.
No, you can't have that as a ringtone.
I mean, it's crazy now. Like they can literally listen to anything, anytime, which it's great. It's great, but the music videos is So I was listening to I don't know Burna Boy. Yeah, like that's one of his big songs, and we've listened to it.
I've never seen.
But then. Again, this is when we're driving. I was like, Daddy's turn. I said, oh, Burna Boy, put it on. It should be in the search history. And then like halfway through the song, I was like, they're quiet. And then I like looked and it was the music videos on YouTube. And I was like, wait a minute. I didn't even see this video yet. Yeah, I was like, wait. You drive like, wait. Hey, let me see. I can't like watch it while I'm driving, but after I watched it.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
It wasn't too bad. Like
still. There's some that are just.
But it's still like that's where we at now. Like I don't know what kind of videos you're gonna watch,
I know.
But
yeah, and we're definitely in a new world for sure. I mean, like the way we grew up is like you stay out till the lights go out, right? Or the lights come on, right? The street lights come on, and you go home.
I was like, oh, you playing late?
No.
Oh, Kalihi kind things. I don't know.
Hey, you know, if there's
So they
anything
come
to
on.
get out of
Or
chores now. But like, you know, that's not what our kids can do now. It's crazy that that's the world we live in.
How safe do you feel with your kids now?
Nah, I don't.
For
Honestly, don't. Like I won't let them go to the mall by themselves. They're teens, and I know they want to do those types of things. But at the same time, I'm just like, wow, this world is nuts now. Like, I mean, I feel safer in Hawaii than I do in the mainland, but still, like the things that are on the news now, I have to like. I have girls, like you have girls,
yeah,
like
I know.
girls,
Yeah.
like, and not even like it's for boys too, but it's just kind of like. Yeah, no, mom needs to know where you're going at all times, and I'm gonna be like right there, you know. So like, ran into people at the mall, they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm that mom. Like, my kids are like right there, but
Yeah.
I give them space, but like I'm still here, you know. Like it just I can't trust anything or anyone or, you know, besides like family and friends and whatnot. But you just cannot nowadays. It's crazy.
When we were moving back to Hawaii, so after 8 years in Japan. I was like, okay, we're expecting our first, so like, let's move to Hawaii. In my head, I'm like, bruh, of course, like
Right.
Hawaii, right? That's
Right.
home. Well, bias, that's home. And then in the last, 8-10 years, like it's definitely not just Hawaii, but I think just at large. Also, I gotta say, like, it's also the representation of it and the repeat nature of being able to expose yourself to it. Like, now, literally right now, they're in Japan, right? And so
you feel safer there.
I get there's a huge gap. There's just a big gap in that it feels like a burden. Like you talk about wearing hats as a coordinator, like there's just this heavy weight whenever you have probably for 18 years. Actually, probably for life as a parent.
Yes,
but like especially that first 18, like you never take it off, and it gets heavier when you're in a place that. Maybe, like this happened, and, you could say that, you can make the argument that, hey, it makes you better, stronger, because, hey, we didn't grow up in the best of conditions, but like, I think there should be a good balance between like hard edges and soft edges.
Yeah.
And it's just that now, like, the hard stuff is fucking...
It's harder.
Hard, yeah.
It's
super.
harder than
and
when we.
The soft stuff is even softer, I think.
Oh no, for real, yeah, it is.
It's just more.
Oh, okay, well.
So either way you go.
Yeah, it's definitely. I feel like as parents, in this day and age, is definitely harder for if you compare it to the way we grew up, like us making these decisions and watching our kids closely and trying to make the best decisions in this world are definitely way harder than before. There's just so much more that you have to like not shelter them from, but educate them through. And that's another thing. Because like now I have teens, right? So it's more of education. It's not really like sheltering them as if they were younger right now.
You can't hide anything.
That's what I'm saying. Everything is just so out there that it's just like, okay, now how am I going to navigate this as a parent? But a fun parent, because I'm still cool and young at heart. But with have that sternness that you could always trust me and come to me.
Right.
But still a hard ass. I don't know. It's just so much.
It's
figuring it out still.
There's no playbook.
There is no playbook
to
for
this
parenting,
thing.
and day and age now is very questionable as to like, okay, am I doing the right thing? I don't know.
They alive? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Great.
We good.
Do they still love me? Awesome.
Yeah. I know. You know what's funny? So it's, what is it? Right now it's July, but in February, Black History Month. This was one of those moments where I'm like, okay, things have just got more extreme, more hard, more soft. What we're saying.
Yeah.
So my girls don't look black.
Okay.
Right. I'm half. So I've been,
but
like basically
your other half is
Black Japanese, right?
Right.
So Black Japanese, but I grew up looking like this for most of my life. And my mom
in Hawaii.
Yeah, but in Hawaii, so it's like my name's Kenji. I look like this.
I'm sorry.
If I'm next to my mom, it's obvious. People put it together.
Right.
But I've been me and my mom
Right.
in Oregon.
Right.
Me and my mom in Japan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Different places. It's funny when we're in Japan because then it's like I'm the one spitting that Nihongo, right? And she's like, she can speak some.
Right.
But mostly
it's yeah.
So then what's going on here?
Right.
Like,
Right.
But that's what's happening now with my
with your kids.
daughters, where it's like, oh, you just eye test. Most people, if you're not from Hawaii,
right.
You wouldn't over here. People are like, oh, dad's here, pick them up.
Right.
Which I wanted to experience like now in Japan, but like because now some time has passed, they're a little bit taller, right?
Right.
Bro, when there's little like kids, you know what I mean? But now like they're tall, kind of lanky like me,
right?
So
they're
it's kind of easier. But so she started asking the questions about race.
Okay.
Right? Okay. I'm like, oh, damn. It's like 9:00 past your bedtime. We finished reading a book, and now we got to go into this deep
conversation.
Civil rights in America conversation. I was like, but you know what? You never prepare for it. Here we are.
They're going to ask, and you got to be...
okay, what is black?
Right.
And I was like, first I was thrown off because I was like, I'm not ready for this, but here we go.
Right.
And then I was like, well, what is it? And I just kind of give her and you brought it up, tell me what you think. And turned out in school, because it was February.
Okay.
They probably had some kind of, I was trying to fish it out. Like, what did you see at school?
Right.
What did your teacher say?
It's coming. Right.
Yeah.
Right. They don't just pop out of nowhere.
You're not watching YouTube by yourself. Right. Like, where did this come from?
Right.
So I'm over there tracking the source. You know what I mean? What happened? Right. And then I got it down to like a video. Okay. What was the video? Like, what did you see? Okay. And the thing that brought it up was she said, I don't want to be black. Oh, so of course it's like, right?
Right. Well,
but then I'm like, we went through like, tell me more. And it turned out I was like, oh, you probably watch one of these black and white films with like a 4:3 ratio, like, what we hoses, dogs. But she was like, oh, because, the black people can't go to, this is what she said, the black people can't go to the fun places. Wow. And I thought, I was like, oh, so I'm just trying to reconstruct everything. Right, you probably saw the one segregation.
You saw the one where they could go to that water fountain and not that water fountain. That's what you guys went over, because that's what we learned in school. I'm like, I saw that in school. Right. With the German Shepherds and that. Right.
So I was like, you went through that.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
I still haven't confirmed this. This is just based off what she's giving me. I'm like, okay, so they can't go into fun places. And she's like, yeah, like they can only go in like their own places. I was like, yeah, you probably saw that one. I forgot the name of it, but it's when that one black kid went to the school that was desegregated and everyone's like standing on the stairs like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, you probably saw something around there.
Right.
We're getting warm.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's when it was super clear to me that one, race is taught. It's taught. Is. Mm-hmm. And then, or it's learned, or, kids are taught this thing. And then two, I'm like, this is also part of the reason I wanted to move back home to Hawaii.
Yes.
Because here versus other places in our country, it's just like people hear my name and say, oh yeah, duh.
Right.
Versus now I got to explain.
Right.
There's a little bit more.
It's a natural thing in Hawaii to have all these mixed, and that's what I mean about like aloha, period. Like no matter whether you're Filipino or black or Irish or, or
all of the above.
All of the above, like a supreme pizza. But like it just doesn't. Everybody embraces pretty much everybody when you're here. It's crazy.
That's what makes you.
Yeah.
Is that combination of things that are you. And then I was like, you know what? And so my wife's Japanese, right? So super outside perspective. Mm-hmm. Like she doesn't, and because I obviously had this conversation with her and we're kind of like unpacking it. And I'm like, you know what? It's beautiful that our children are in an international marriage, like they're children of an international marriage. So they get different histories, because like without the history, this doesn't make any, there's no relevance. Like you have to know the history of this country to understand something like why segregation videos are shown at school. Because it's part of.
I'm kind of still surprised they show that, to be honest.
Again, I don't know what they actually showed.
Right. But still, like, I'm just saying, like, the stuff that we watched. I mean, I know it's definitely for everybody to learn, for sure. But that age, first of all,
I don't know what it could have been. Someone like gave a presentation,
right?
You know, like talked about it. So I don't know what it was, but the fact that she's like, because they can't go to the fun places. You know, I was like, what the hell did you watch?
Right.
You know. But also, like, let's address it.
Yeah,
kind of like
gonna have to.
Kind of like drugs, or address it.
Yep.
And then good thing we live Hawaii, because
for real though.
I feel like there's a lot more, for lack of a better word, like aloha, or there's acceptance, but there's also that diversity that's just at the base of life here. That the natural path of being a human on this island is such that you'll be exposed at a way higher rate to way more different faces, places, smells, foods. You know what I mean? Like accents, all of that, names. You're just gonna be exposed at such a high rate.
That's not
nothing's
a shocker.
gonna exactly. It's gonna be more of a okay, whatever.
Yeah,
let's move on.
Yeah.
But there's gotta be other places like that give me this feeling, and that's part of the reason like I wanna travel more, where I know there's other expressions of this kind of what we call aloha.
I definitely agree with you in that. Like I do want to do that in my life. I want to start traveling more, which is why I actually kind of gear more towards like corporate right now, because it's kind of giving me a little more free time.
Perfect, yeah.
But it's also straightforward. I love you, brides, but you know, sometimes it's a lot of emotion. Like I am not a legal counselor.
I could imagine.
I'm not a
coordinator
lawyer.
/ therapist.
I'm not a lawyer. I am not it. But I have looked in my 17 years of this business of a lot of contracts. But I'm just saying, I agree with you where like I do want to go and see that. I want to go travel the world and see like where is it like here?
Exactly.
Like, there's gotta be.
There's
gotta be.
And in fact, I'm
is
sure
it just
there
the
is.
Island life? Is it all the islands?
Do you think it is?
I don't know. That's why I do want to go to Tahiti. I do want to go. I want to go and go to all these places and see like is it really?
Shout out Krista, right? She's going to Tahiti.
Yeah, she's been dancing Tahitian.
And I'm like, when she said that, I was like, that's one of the things like early on before I even left Hawaii, I was like curious about. Fiji, I don't know why. Maybe because there's a water, Fiji, but like
Fiji.
Also the singer,
Tahiti.
But no, like really.
No, for real though.
What do we have?
Jamaica, like all the island
Fiji.
stuff. I think I definitely. We're so opposite. I'm like me and my husband, because like, he wants to go to Japan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and I'm like, I want to go to Tahiti. So I'm gonna go with my girls and then
pick one 10-hour flight. It's
But
pretty
I don't
far.
know
I think.
if it's an island thing. I want to know. I do want to know.
I would suspect, because look, I tell people I lived on this island nation, but also the other island nation, which is Japan. But it's just such a big landmass that you don't always. I think here you're always confronted with the horizon. Not confronted, but you're graced with this horizon, which to a lot of people means different things, but to me it just means like open, unknown. There's more. It put simply, like there's more. There's more to the world. There's more to life. There's more to everything. Like abundant type of feeling that I get. And I think looking at that constantly gotta have some kind of effect on us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, every human wants to feel accepted, recognized, loved, appreciated, like these things that we associate with aloha.
Yep.
So I know there's places where I can go and not have to like answer what we would call like, what do you call like racist or questions.
Right.
I know they are.
There are.
And
you can find those places.
I'm sure it might be a mountain town in freaking Middle East or something.
Right.
Like who knows?
Right. We don't know.
I want to explore all kinds of, for me it's the World Cup.
Yeah.
So it's because I'm a soccer guy, like it's a big event, it's worldly, it brings together a lot of people, and it's always hosted in a different place. On the. So it's like, to me, I'm like, that's a good vehicle to regular exposure to the world.
You should do it.
No, the next one's in North America. It's gonna be.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe we should, like, my friends and I were like, maybe we should get those camper vans.
Yeah.
And just hit up like road trip to different games.
To all these places.
Like, that'd be amazing.
Right.
But then I think about how things have gotten different too. I'm like,
No.
because we want to do it with the fam, yeah.
No, that's the thing. It's just a whole new world that we're
You can sing that song
just navigating. I do love it, but it's definitely like a cliche song, so it's not my go-to.
Did you watch
song.
that new one?
The new one, yeah. Like,
I didn't know she was a singer.
oh, for real?
Is she?
She's good, but not any of the things that I would normally sing. Like I say, I do like the divas, so I stick around.
What do you?
Those.
Because if your husband wants to go to Japan, I was thinking about like the live performances and stuff I saw in Japan. No, if you go somewhere, you want to experience the local events and stuff.
I do.
And they have Enka style singing, which is, if you're a singer, you probably like, oh yeah, I've heard of it, or similar, like have some kind of familiarity to it. But do you do like, what I enjoyed there was, there's so many temples and shrines. Yeah. And I lived in this place called Shiga, but no one knows like Shiga. Having so many of these like buildings that I would go into and think, man, this building is, I would always think like, this building is older than our country.
Yeah.
Our country is almost 300 years old-ish, right? And so some of these buildings are like 400, 500 years old. Maybe it burned down and had to redo a certain section, but like more or less it kind of put things in perspective. And it brought it up because in those, some of these temples have like acoustic qualities to them because of the chanting.
Oh, okay.
So voice
wise.
Different kind. Like do you chant? Do you hula or?
No, I'm like the worst
You're
Hawaiian
the worst?
Ever. Like I
Shame.
I went to the biggest native Hawaiian school in the world, and for life, from kindergarten, graduated. I'm a lifer. My husband's a lifer.
You better doing freaking Oli or on hula right now.
Yeah.
There's that expectation though. Tell me.
But
that.
there is.
Tell me that.
And it's just kind of like, oh, can you do that? And I'm like, oh my God, I totally took Japanese and Spanish.
What? You don't own little Hawaii? Give me that diploma back.
I don't.
No.
I know
that is an expectation.
You were born and raised. Yeah, I was born and raised. Yes. You like
okay. Oh, K through 12. Kamehameha.
Yeah, native Hawaiian, biggest school in the world. Hawaiian school in the world. Sorry, but yeah, my whole family went there though.
Is it like, I know there's electives and like classes you have to take, the required classes in the required section though? There's probably a lot of culture.
Oh yeah, you have to. You have to take Hawaiian culture for sure. You have to. Song contest is a graduation requirement, so singing is a requirement. You have to do all of them to graduate.
I was thinking about my public school experience and what I learned about Hawaiian culture as a public school graduate. And it was like one semester. It was one semester in D building for like Campbell. D building. Oh, I think it was Mr. Long. I forgot his. I'm sorry.
Building number. See, we had a mountain, so we didn't go.
Did I just get flexed on?
You did.
By.
You had a D building, but then we had to catch a bus to get to our next class.
Hillside. Sorry. Wow. And
but that D building.
Hey, try show me a hula then.
Oh no, it's horrible. No. Really.
I cannot. A lot of time in Japan too, people are like Hawaii. Right. So then they expect surf, ukulele,
right,
hula. I'm like,
Right.
That's when I'll play the, oh, nah, I blacked
I was
though.
like, I blacked though. But wait.
But 50 Cent? Okay, no. Yeah, I can be a chameleon, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
That's what we're very adaptable, like in Hawaii. I think that's what it is. It's just so there's so much
like,
that we are exposed to.
you know the clients you can speak pidgin to?
Oh,
and the ones
exactly.
that
you
you're
can
gonna
speak
keep
that,
it,
or you keep it professional, or you can drop it like it's hot, or you can.
Have you ever danced?
What do you mean?
Okay, wait. At a wedding. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like our thing.
That's one
have
thing.
you ever seen like? So the DJ will play certain songs, and my whole team will come out and dance with the bride and groom, and they love it.
That's one thing. Like me and Glenn was always like, okay, one day. We'll go.
You guys have never did it.
No, that's why. I was like, I've never done it.
No, so there's certain songs, and our team will go on and we'll dance, and they go crazy, but we walk off. So there's times where there's nobody on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And we'll tell the DJ to play this song, and we'll go dance, and everybody comes, and then we walk off.
That's called the fire starter. Take notes, coordinators. That's the fire starter maneuver. That's an add-on.
I'm going to tell you the song, though, because that's our song. So
okay, we'll keep it. We'll keep it.
Yeah.
I told Glenn, bro, if they play Teach Me How to Dougie, I'll go.
I'll keep that in mind.
And one time I almost did,
but then
the thing with us is like usually we finish around when it's somewhere
it's
in open
like
dancing.
8:39 normally.
Right?
Yeah.
It's usually
I make the timeline.
When you make it, right? It's usually when like the last thing on the program, like the last speech or whatever thing.
Yep.
And then we're usually like packing up.
Yep, you're packing up.
And so
bye,
if though it's one of those like, oh, this is a good game day, then we can cruise a little bit, right?
There's a lot of those that we had that. We hung out.
Most of them
we
was
did
like
a BTS outside,
yeah.
and then we came in and
hit the dessert buffet one more time.
We're good.
Yeah, pack some.
We won't say where.
Again, nameless. This is all.
All good fun though. But yeah, you should though. When they see you guys like just relax too after doing a full day job, like
you're right,
and they loved everything that you guys did with them, had a good time, had a good relationship, and it just like blows up on the dance floor. Like I don't know, it's just kind of like complete for me.
And then you go sing.
Oh, yeah, I mean not every time, but like it depends on like definitely the time. Definitely if we got like burnt that day, maybe not, but it just depends on how much energy we all have left.
You're about to get toasted today. Yesterday was so hot. I was in here and then
hot.
The first time I went outside it was like 3-4.
Yeah, I know.
West Side summer, it was so hot. And then I was like, good thing I'm not over there with a button-up collared shirt, pants, outdoors.
Yeah, because our days start at setup, right? So our day starts at like 9 a.m. and then our night ends at like 11 p.m. or depending wherever we're at. Like hotels go a little later, right? So we don't get home till like.
Good question for you is, we don't have to say favorite venue. But if you were to get married again, where would you get married?
I have, there's no hidden agenda on this. Like I love Lani Kohunua. Like
there you have it, folks.
I love it.
Phase 2,
it. All of them.
Take them all. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Oh, you can put the tents for camp out in phase 1.
We like half live there actually this year. This year we're mostly out there. And then the other parts is Halekuleni, which we love. And so I feel like my year has been like fulfilled.
So I love Lani's is a great one.
Yeah.
As far as because there's not too many. Everyone offers a sunset. Like you can literally have sunsets at Kualoa Ranch.
That's the main sunset though.
Yeah.
Like if you want a sunset shot, that's where you go for sure. Plus, the grounds are kept very clean. Everything, the bugs
Parking
are not crazy.
Yeah.
And the parking's great. There's, it's just it's just so beautiful. Like, just like, how do you not book that venue?
You have the most picturesque backdrop.
Yeah.
Especially all the palm trees right there on palm trees, ocean, sunset. You can get your white sand depending on the waves.
Right. I mean, and when I explain, people ask me that all the time, like, where is it? And I always, that's the venue I always say. And, but every time it's like, oh, but it's so expensive. And I was like, yeah, but you don't got to do anything to it. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. Yeah. You minimalize everything else. Like,
stay at Marriott, Four Seasons, Aulani.
It's just like
maybe Airbnb. Yeah. Like, people stay or get ready to.
They do it. They've been doing a lot like Eva. They go into like that Kapolei out those new embassy suites and whatnot. And I mean, those are nice. Those rooms are nice. It's not even.
And you're just using them to.
You're not there. Sleep. Yeah. You're only gonna have a good time. I'm gonna show you a good time, and then you're gonna go back and sleep. But it's just people do ask me that all the time, and I will say it. And then if they haven't chosen one too, like, or they're between like, I'm doing site visits, like, I ain't gonna lie, I'll push you that way. I will tell you.
So that's number one outdoor. What about indoor?
Oh, definitely Halekulani. Oh, like, hands down. Okay. I will name it. I love all you venues, but I don't know, just the service there to the
service is on point.
Yeah. To the
even
food.
The valet.
Give you that water when you leave. From the time you show up to the time that you leave, you are just fully taken care of. It's just like a no-brainer. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I think Lani's was always that. Even Lo'ulu's nice too, but then it's just the logistics of where it's located.
Yeah, it's kind of like just on that North Shore in between Turtle Bay to Waimea, and it's kind of like right in the middle, as that's where I was yesterday. And it's just a hit or miss on weather for me on North Shore side.
That's true.
When it's on the leeward side, it's just it'll always rain in the morning or middle of the day, but like in that end sunset time, like
less chances.
Rare, super rare.
I don't even know. I think they're two kind of bad. Like, I almost felt bad for the bridal everybody because it was destination. Yeah. It was at Lani's, and it rained. But I think there's a general consensus, like, there's nothing you can do about it.
No, when you're planning a wedding in Hawaii, we always tell you it's bipolar. Like, it can be raining in 1 hour, and the next 10 minutes it's like blazing hot. You just don't know. That's why they call him Lai Hagi, and we love Guy Hagi, but that's why they call him that. But it's not his fault.
You gotta explain that meme to people.
I do have to. I'm like, it's not his fault.
Especially Cool Orange.
Like. Right. You can be like clear, and then you see that cloud coming. You're like, oh crap! But that means you got like 5 to 10 minutes left. You know what I mean? To like get somewhere. And but it's always like, okay, it's that contingency, plan A and plan B, possibly a plan C. Like, that's what we do for them as to.
Couple of times, and luckily it didn't happen. And it was actually at Lani Konua, outdoor setup, but no tent. And I'm like, to me, as someone who doesn't have that conversation with the vendors or the clients, I always think like, bro, you rolling the dice. But what is a contingency when you set up your reception area with no tent and it's outdoors?
So that's definitely one that you're just gonna roll with it.
So everybody's sitting down on wet linens, wet plate. We out camping.
Yeah, because I mean, Lani Phase 1 has a hut that people can go and run to. But like Lani 2, there's that tree area, and it actually holds a lot of water if you stay underneath. It's not that bad. But when you're making that decision, we are letting you know there is no, I can't call in a tent that at that time. Like, it's not going to happen. But that's why for everything else though, like, we'll make sure. So, cause other people are like, oh, I don't want umbrellas for your food. I'm like, well, you do, first of all. Like, you want that food to be covered, cause if everything else is messed, at least you're going to have great food. So like, you have to tell them that this decision that they are making is what it is on that day. And
but
so
even some vendors say I require a tent. DJs,
right.
the catering sometimes.
Yeah, DJs, we definitely always will have a tent because of their equipment. So we'll put them more towards a side or a back area that is not in front of their light. You know, they want the lighting, they want the stargazing sky of whatever. But when it gets to that week, and they have that still, they still have that choice to pull in a tent or not.
So they have up to a week before their wedding to.
Don't quote me on it with the rental companies.
They're like, freaking turn. But
it depends who you are.
Hawaii's who you know. Taryn knows.
Right. So it's kind of like, okay, you know, we give them that option. Okay, here it's a week. This is what's been going on. This is what is forecasted. But again, that can change. You just don't know in Hawaii. Yeah. Trade winds really screw us up in making those decisions. Yeah. But when we, you know, talk to people, then they're just like, if it rains, okay, like, nah, I'm gonna walk down. It rained hard, and like, I'm still going. I'm in Hawaii. I don't care. Yeah. So it just depends who the client is. And to be honest, I love locals, but y'all complain the most, and y'all know the weather. That's Shots the fired. Thing. I love y'all, but you complain the most about weather, but you live here and you know the weather. I don't understand it. Then get a damn tent.
I love it.
But, you know, destinations, they're just like, they're okay with whatever decision they have made.
You know what? That's the part I love about destination weddings is they committed the moment they stepped off the plane, they were in this.
They're in it.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I've committed anything for the next 5 days that I'm here.
It doesn't matter. Right. We're going to go on with it. Okay, great.
I love that attitude.
Right. And
but
that's
then
the thing.
Local people say, I can go uncle's house in 10 minutes if I got to. Or like, I can be home in 30 minutes.
Right.
You're never like, detached from where you were to be here, to be present.
Yeah, and I think too, I definitely love, I will say my favorite clientele definitely too is hybrids.
Oh, one is from here,
one is from here, and one is not. And that, I don't know, there's just that.
True.
The one that's connected, and then the one that's just like, hey, yeah, we do want this, we love this, and we love this here. But then that other side that's just like, oh, wow, I love it here. It's different. And I don't know what it is about hybrids, but they all have a really good time.
You're right. That's
they pick the amazing things of Hawaii, and they pick, you know, they still want to have a good time. They're party animals, and you put them together, and you're just like, that was a damn good event.
You know why? Because the local side gets that refreshed, renewed view of like how special it is to be here. And they feel like that
show.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Oh, this is my extended family. We're gonna be the host. Right. Yeah. But then the visitors also feel like, wow, we got the pass. We got the local card because now it's his family.
Exactly. And they just have a good time. And I definitely love hybrid weddings. They are just one of my favorites for sure.
What is the hardest thing for like a destination vendor, like a photographer who comes here, or like a DJ or something, like,
yeah,
for them, what is the hard part?
I definitely, for them, the vendors that come in, I definitely get on the phone and I chat with them so they can understand, first of all, the Aloha slow spirit of Hawaii.
I'm gonna get to your email. Yeah. Guilty.
We get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not we're all working on getting, virtual assistants. Okay, VAs. We're working on it. But still, like, yes, the Aloha spirit of all being honus, of slowing down time and enjoying Hawaii, period, first of all. Then second, the bipolar weather, as to what to understand about the weather here, and the adjustments that you'll make as the day goes on. Any vendor I actually do use, not just the ones that fly in, but I do go over that, like, you should already know that when you're doing a wedding or an event, things are going to change. Like, you really have to be adaptable to, yes, you make a timeline and you're going to follow it as much as you can, but if it goes off by 15 to 20 minutes or of some sort, just know I'm going to make it up somewhere, but just know I'm going to get whatever that couple wants done within the time frame that you were hired. So to switch around things, to be that chameleon, to be like, okay, no worries, like, just relax. We're going to take care of you. You're going to take care of the couple, and everybody just has a good time.
What is the difference then? Because you say you want to move into more corporate events.
Yeah.
So obviously you're dealing with someone who's not spending their money they saved. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's that. But then I would assume it's also like more of a like indoor venue, like at a hotel or something.
Not technically. I mean, we've done a few corporate already, and they've just been at a president's house or outdoors. And the thing for that is there's a budget, there's a list of what's needed, and a deadline, and it's just
cut and dry.
Yeah, it's very cut and dry, but it's very like I can produce this pretty quickly. As to a wedding, there's a lot more like fingers involved. There's a lot of more chefs in the kitchen. There's a lot more people to say things, and I always have to tell the couple like, I understand that there's auntie, uncles, grandmas, and everybody else, and sisters, and whoever got married, your friend just got married, those types of things. But in the end, like, I'm only going to want to hear what you want. And you really have to just close your mind and think, like, hey, this is the day that I'm paying for. What do I want? We're not going to redo this. Correct? But you know what I mean?
Right?
Initially, you're not. Yeah. But it happens. But I'm just saying, like, you need to really, really just sit down, quiet your mind. I'm a Disney fanatic. I love Luca, so Silencio Bruno. You watch Luca?
No, I didn't see Luca.
I'm a Disney fanatic. I love Disney.
I have expanded my Disney game.
With your kids? Yeah. You got
to. No, more than like a year ago, more than 2 years ago. Like
maybe that's why I get along with Cali people too, because it's definitely with Disney with 49ers, and we're good.
Oh, you say those two things and you're already in.
I'm in.
You're in. 49er fan.
Take me for what I am.
Disney.
Well. But I mean, so anyway, like, just quiet your mind and just remember why you're doing this in the first place with your other half.
Sound advice for someone who's literally about to go to a wedding and keep doing a thing. So I have, first of all, like, let people know where they can find you. Where can people find you if they're interested?
I'm definitely on Instagram because, I'm getting my website redone. So
Krista's waiting.
I love you. I love you for being patient with me. But as a mom of 3 and a business owner of how many other events and renovating house, it's been rough. But anyway, you can find me on Instagram, A Touch of You, Hawaii. And you can just reach us there. And our website still works for right now, and you can reach us on the contact page. But
anyway, we'll have it in the description for sure. When it's all done up and nice. When you're watching this, you'll be like, "What? It's such a beautiful website." But right now,
she's kind of old. Like, I don't have my son on there yet, and I really need that boy on there. So
I gotta ask though, no one spent some money on this studio, but no one sang.
Oh God.
Negative. I had to ask. It's not going to be me.
I wouldn't even know what is to sing. That's the thing. I'm very...
Oh, you always sing after the wedding. What do you sing before the wedding? Your alma mater.
I was like, I always have to have like a track. It's like with karaoke, you have like a track.
I can hook this up.
You what?
Yeah, I can hook this up so you can hear the music on this, and then you can just do a song.
All right.
What's your song?
Damn.
You might want to put that on because then you could.
Okay, you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. No, it's just cool.
You're here. You're the first. You're the one and only.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Let's see.
Oh wow. Okay.
I mean, we could YouTube it. Wait, we don't need to hear my voice. What's going on? Okay.
You can sing with me.
Trust.
What can I belt right now. I mean, blue.
Let's go.
Blue. Oh, so lonesome for you. Why can't you be blue over me? Blue. Oh, so lonesome for you. Tears fill my eyes till I can see. 3:00 in the morning, here am I, sitting here so lonely, so lonesome I could cry. Blue. Oh, so lonesome for you. Why can't you be blue over me? It's hard to do.
This is when you rap.
I know. I gotta work on my rapping part though. Oh my gosh. Now that it's over, I realize those 3 words you whispered were nothing but lies. Blue. Oh, so lonesome for you. Why can't you be blue over me? Why can't you be blue over me? I need a drink to do those things. Like, I need a vodka shot, then we can sing.
Yo, thanks, Taryn.
Oh my gosh.
I know I kind of forced you on the spot, but I appreciate that. That was cool. I saw you sing before,
I
but
didn't even know. I don't know what to sing. I don't know. Yo, like, if you see it, like, there's a list that we have, like, on our notes for me and Steph. Like, we have a shared list
of songs,
Yeah.
go to songs.
Yeah.
She's a singer too then.
Oh yeah, that girl loves like her Carrie Underwood and her. But yeah, like here I'll show you like what it is, and we share it. So if we add things, well, this is on my
This
clients.
is a shared notes.
It's a shared note. But it's super.
Oh.
But it's super broad.
You gotta
like,
scroll.
You got Adele, but like you get like Torn to like Kelly.
Heart eye emoji.
Oh no, it's the ones like we really like. Whitney Houston. I have nothing.
This is no joke. I'm still scrolling. Nickelback.
Oh yeah.
So what?
But it's funny because whoever when we add it and we're not together, we're like, where you at?
Oh. What made you think of that song?
Right? I'll be like, oh, I was listening to 96.3 and they played it.
Make You Feel My Love. Okay, when did you put that on the list?
Oh, I'm not
Cry.
sure. I love Mandy more. Like that she's
Yeah,
like those times.
Kelly Clarkson. What do you think? Okay, wait. We can end on this because as somebody who sings and is from Hawaii,
Yeah.
everybody right now, Tongi.
Yeah. What about it?
What? First of all, did you watch? Like,
Yes.
Do you like watching American Idol? Like, you follow the whole thing?
I don't follow the whole thing. I must say, like, I did like The Voice a lot better.
The show, The Voice.
The show, The Voice. Okay. Like American Idol, she's done all the time. It's this old show,
Yeah.
But I think the picking somebody over just their voice and how they, not their looks or their description, like I really loved that. So I think I took to that first. But Iam Tongi, I mean, to just get back to him as a he sings really good, and I think the exposure of Hawaii and their singers and everything that he has played on that show, that was pretty cool. Like I think that took me the most, that you actually chose songs that Hawaii people sang, and
cool
that
down, huh?
I mean,
yeah, for the final,
for the Kamehameha graduate, Kamehameha other graduate.
Shots fired.
We're very talented, yeah. There's Keilana, Kimie, Anuhea, like
the list goes on.
It is pretty.
Yeah, I know. Hey, no joke, bro. You guys, you do your thing.
They do their thing.
You do your thing.
You guys go do your thing.
Hey,
I will stay in a karaoke room and do my thing.
Or over here when I put you on the spot.
My heart was beating really fast.
I gotta ask.
Blue right off the back. I don't know. I'm like, I had a whole list.
Literally have scrolling list. No, but thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Anytime, open door policy. And if you know what, I tell everybody, I'll send you a link to these files.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody who can do it, or you do it yourself, like you can cut it up, use pieces because you talked a lot about what you do.
Yeah.
So if you can use it in your marketing in some way, go ahead.
Yeah.
Krista, use this on the website. Okay. She was waiting, so I think maybe we just put this on there.
Yeah. But yeah. No, but thanks for inviting me. I was nervous at first, but when you're like, just talk to her, I'm like, okay, that's easy. I can do that.
That's what it is. Yeah. You the best. You guys.
I can do this. Talk all damn day.
It is, huh? It's not like I was telling my mom, like, hey, I want to do this for you. And she's like, I'm not ready to be. Like, she probably thought it was a live broadcast.
When you say
know what
it
I mean?
wasn't live, that definitely helped. Like, it definitely helped. I don't know why people assume that it, like, is when you say podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
But
most of the stuff you see is edited.
Yeah, no, it's good.
And, like, most people not even going to watch the whole thing.
I definitely have been starting to watch more of it because I am learning more of who these people are. Like I said, like even just Tom's one. Like I was like, I didn't even know
you didn't even know I was a teacher either.
I know, this is crazy. I'm like, okay, like because when kids do the wedding day, we don't spend that kind of time.
That's true. That's true. But hey, thanks.
No, thank you.
Thank you.